Hello, this is Dr. Do again. This video still continue with systemic approach for medicine. I start with for invisible compounds, organic compounds. I talk about the associated diseases caused by this metabolism of those four major compounds. For example, the nucleic acid, DNA, the mutations, either the silence or the frame shift, etc. Those are the basic knowledge. But anyway, the defect or the abnormality of the nucleic acid during this replication or any transcription process may cause mutation, cause clinical diseases. And then I talk about the lipids actually, and the carbohydrates. Actually talk about the carbohydrates and their major function, and also the associated diseases. And the last time I think I talked about the lipids, the abnormality of lipids metabolism, or the function of lipid. Actually, we all know it. We need it because it's the major resource, major source of energy, and also some hormones, and also some cell structures, and so these are the major function of this lipids. So any of these undergoing change or disease, or the process of metabolism will cause diseases. We already mentioned those genetic inheritance or acquired during lifetime. Actually, the other important function of lipids is the signal transduction. For example, the acylglycerol or IP3, etc. Those are the products of lipids, and they serve as the important mechanism in the signal transduction. So for whatever the signal it is in the cells, undergoing the regulation, the duplication, the replication, or the function. So this is the lipids. And today I'm going to talk about the protein. So talk about the protein. It's such a term. Everybody heard it. Everybody know it. It's so familiar to everyone. And the question is, really, is it? So we know the protein really serve as the nutrients, one of the major nutrients, either from the plant or from the animal resources. And also protein serve as hormones. The typical hormone, for example, insulin, is the small protein and synthesized in the cells to regulate blood glucose, and so many variety of proteins. We cannot number them. There are so many. So that's the one of the major component in the body to carry on the functions, variety of functions. In addition to the nutrients, protein also, like I said, in the blood, carry on the oxygen, which is hemoglobin, in the immune system, antibodies, which is immunoglobulin. So those are the so many variety of functions of protein. And first of all, where does the protein come from? The protein comes from, so this is the interactions between the four major compounds from the nucleic acid. The nucleic acid contain those individual nucleotides, which are the really carrying the signals, and through the transcription, those signals exactly copy to the mRNA in normal condition. And this tRNA, which is transferring RNA, decoding those message in triplets, so carries three of the nucleotide, and this nucleotide interpreted into the amino acid. So this amino acid just linked together by the peptide bond. So that is the protein. So basically this is the protein. So the fundamental block to form the protein are, of course, amino acids. And so those amino acids we can synthesize in our body, some of them, but some of them we have to take from the outside, the nature, either the plant or the animals. So these are the essential amino acids. And those amino acids inside of the body to metabolize into the elements, like the carbon, the nitrogen, etc., and then build again and join the amino acid for the protein synthesis. So this is the fundamental theory of how the protein is synthesized. So basically the function of the protein and also the diseases associated with this protein metabolism. Of course, there's so many variety. The malnutrition is one of the uncommon one, but it could happen in those chronic diseases. For example, the chronic kidney disease, chronic liver disease, chronic digestive system or intestinal disease, of course anemia. So all of those can cause malnutrition because the protein is not enough, or it's not function well, or it's not synthesized, or it's not carry on the normal functions. So this is the one of the major abnormalities associated with the protein. We all know that. And there's immune deficiency, for example. There's some immune disease. Majority, I think, is inheritance disease, which carry the genes, cannot produce the antibody. It's not the immune deficiency. We talk about the T cell immune deficiency, like the human immune deficiency virus cause deficiency of immune function. That is also involved in the protein, because it is a theory that the T cell receptor is not function well, so cannot a T cell receptor. The receptor is also the protein. So basically, if there are a variety of diseases associated with this protein abnormalities. So let's start from the fundamental diabetes, or not fundamental, but it's ubiquitous diabetes type 1. The type 1 diabetes, is because insulin cannot be synthesized in the body, which means as a protein, the insulin is a hormone, but the body beta cell cannot produce it. So this is causing the disease, just example. And the other is hemoglobin diseases, protein deficit, particularly for those sickle cell disease, also genetically coding out the wrong amino acid in the hemoglobin chain, replace the normal glutamate by the other amino acid, so cause this sickle cell anemia. So these are the typical, everybody know, the diseases that are known to everyone. And also the genetic disease, cystic fibrosis, is also the channel on the cell membrane, also the proteins. Actually, the proteins serve the channel to carry on the ions. For example, cystic fibrosis is this chloride channel, which is protein, is not undergoing mutation. Actually, it's not normal, undergoing the mutation, so cannot carry the chloride across the cell membrane, cause this thick mucus, and not only affect the lung, and also affect other organs like the pancreas, which produce a huge amount of bicarb, and this is involved in the chloride for exchange. So this is the example. I just named a few. Actually, there's so many variety of diseases associated with this protein abnormalities, and basically these protein abnormalities, usually like the three examples I named here, two of them are from the genetic DNA mutation cause of this protein dysfunction. And the type 1 diabetes, I think, is basically just the cell cannot produce insulin, whether there is some genetic, it is genetic caused or caused by the chemicals, but I think the mechanism why the insulin is not function in this type 1 diabetes, it's not a functional protein, it just cannot produce this protein. So this is about the protein, and next I'm going to move on to the cell, which is also invisible, and the abnormality of cells and the diseases. So I'm going to stop here today and hope not confused you, but if you have a comment or questions, please leave a note. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.